From Clinton to Trump, South Park has roasted almost every US president since they first started airing. Whether it's turning Bush into the centerpiece of a 9/11 conspiracy, Obama into an Ocean's 11 style thief, or Trump as a serial litigant, the show never holds back. For over 2 decades, the creators have used presidential parodies to take shots at politics, power, and public perception, even sometimes crossing the line just to make a point. In this video, we're diving into South Park's takes on the American presidency with a little cameo from overseas. These are 5 presidential parodies in South Park history. Let's get those ballots in. Number 5, Mr. Garrison as a Donald Trump stand-in. So at first, South Park doesn't use the real President Trump, and instead uses Mr. Garrison as a Trump stand-in. From seasons 19 through 20, Mr. Garrison starts his transformation from school teacher to president. Fueled by outrage over Canadian immigration, Garrison launches a crude, populist campaign demanding a wall to be built. Despite being blatantly unqualified and unhinged, his rhetoric gains traction, and he's swept into the presidency. Over time, he adopts a Trumpian look with his spray tan suit and mannerisms, fully embracing the persona. Literally, there's this scene that's kind of like a Darth Vader scene where instead of Darth Vader's helmet, it's Trump's hair, or toupee, or whatever you want to call it. Through seasons 21 through 24, Garrison is actually the president the entire time, and rules with chaos and pettiness, which is more focused on his personal vendettas than actual leadership. His actions grow increasingly extreme, and even as his behavior worsens, his supporters remain loyal, satirizing extreme political allegiance. After losing re-election, he returns to South Park and finds himself directionless. The arc as a whole critiques political opportunism, voter apathy, and voter outrage. Number 4, Barack Obama and the 2008 presidential election. In the episode About Last Night, airing the night after Barack Obama won the 2008 election, seriously, they are so fast with this. This episode features Obama, John McCain, Sarah Palin, and yes, even Michelle Obama. I bet you thought I was going to say Biden, right? The main plot reimagines Obama and McCain as secret partners in an Ocean's 11 style heist to steal the Hope Diamond, using their presidential campaigns as a smokescreen. Once the plan succeeds, Obama, now in the possession of the diamond, considers actually becoming president, with Michelle stepping in as his true first lady. While this might not be the satire you expect, the satire actually shines through the town's over-the-top reactions to the election. Obama supporters flood the streets with celebrations, screaming, "Change! Hope! Yes, we can!" like the classic Obama campaign messaging, while McCain voters descend into full-blown panic, stockpiling supplies and declaring the end of America. Both sides are portrayed with extreme exaggeration, poking fun at how elections often spark mass blind optimism or irrational fear regardless of who's running and who wins. But I'd like to quickly mention something. Sarah Palin, who in 2008 was widely mocked for being inexperienced and out of her depth, is portrayed here as the complete opposite. She ditches the folksy accent and reveals herself to be a poised, sharp-tongued, British accented thief who's fully in on the scheme with Obama and McCain. It's a funny way to flip her public image and plays into the episode's theme of never judging a book by its cover. Number 3, George W. Bush. In Season 10, Episode 9, what starts as a ridiculous investigation into who took a poop in the school urinal quickly spirals into full-blown government conspiracy. All because pushes a 9/11 conspiracy theory a bit too far. Stan and Kyle go on a goose chase, which gets them caught up untangling an intricate web of lies, and leads them all the way to the White House, where they come face-to-face with President George W. Bush himself. Bush takes the time to personally execute a 11 conspiracy theorist, working with the boys as an intimidation tactic. The boys eventually escape, but something bothers Kyle when they spot the conspiracy theorist still up and about, not dead. This is where the truth comes out, and Bush admits he didn't orchestrate 11, but claims the government wants people to think it did because the illusion of control makes citizens feel safer. They also want the government to feel more powerful, really. The episode satirizes post-11 paranoia and the mid-2000s as a whole, including the spread of misinformation and the way some people would rather believe in a grand mastermind than admit that the world can be messy and chaotic, while at the same time portraying Bush as both sinister and a clueless leader. Similar to Sarah Palin in the last section, I want to make a quick mention into the little jab they had at Dick Cheney's bad aim, which is so funny to me because it was unbelievable what he did to his, shooting partner back in the day. It was crazy. I remember being in school and hearing that and being like, what the heck? How did you miss that bad? Number 2, Bill Clinton. South Park has often portrayed Bill Clinton as a sleazy, smooth-talking politician who uses charm to dodge responsibility. He's shown as shameless and self-indulgent, a symbol of political hypocrisy and old-school corruption. The show frequently mocks his real-life scandals, including the Monica Lewinsky affair, and even takes it further by revealing in one episode that he once slept with Leanne Cartman, Eric Cartman's mother. The running joke reinforces his image as a serial womanizer who is always entangled in some sort of sexual misconduct, no matter how ridiculous the situation. And I feel like literally after the scandal, that's how most people portrayed Bill Clinton, or most shows portrayed Bill Clinton. One of his most recent appearances is in the season 20 episode OGs, where Clinton and Bill Cosby are in attendance to host a gentleman's club, which honestly should say enough about the jab South Park's doing. The club is meant to calm tensions between boys and girls in response to the growing chaos caused by Troll Trace, a website that posts people's internet histories. Turns out that Clinton is only using the Gentleman's Club as a way to avoid the wrath of Hillary when his internet history is eventually revealed to the world, further poking fun at his questionable actions. First up is Al Gore, former vice president and former 2000 presidential nominee. Al Gore first appears in South Park warning the town about Man-Bear-Pig, a fictional monster that serves as a clear metaphor for climate change. He's portrayed as desperate for attention, overly dramatic, and smugly self-important. He's always saying, "I'm super ethereal," which is a jab in itself. The character is exaggerated to the point of absurdity, and it turns Gore's real-life environmental advocacy into a punchline. Now, at the time, this was a direct jab at Gore's post-2000 election public image and his role as a leading voice in climate change. The show initially mocked what it saw as alarmism and virtue signaling, but over a decade later, in season Man-Bear-Pig, South Park reversed course. Man-Bear-Pig returns as a very real and dangerous threat, and the characters are forced to admit that they were wrong. It is Trey Parker and Matt Stone's way of apologizing to Gore. The episode even ends with an apology to Gore, marking one of the few times the show openly acknowledged a past misjudgment. And it's a good way to show how satire can also evolve. South Park hasn't really touched upon Biden very much at all. He was once set to appear in About Last Night alongside Obama, but this scene was deleted for the final cut. Then during his presidency, South Park barely had any episodes airing, reducing the potential for a Biden appearance. But I'm actually curious, if they were to cover Biden, what do you think they would have covered? Let us know in the comments. I have some ideas based off of the 4 years of presidency, but I'd like to hear what you think. And we are finally here, down to number 1, Donald Trump, who's finally properly parodied in this latest season. In South Park's season 27 debut, Sermon on the Mount, the show goes full scorched earth on its latest jab at Donald Trump. But first, some context. At the top of the episode, it's revealed that Eric Cartman's favorite program, NPR, has been cancelled by the president. Later, at school, during a mandatory assembly, PC principal turns to religion in these uncertain times, rebranding himself as Power Christian Principal and inviting Jesus to patrol the halls, effectively dismantling the separation of church and state. Meanwhile, the townspeople, frustrated with the president's actions, march to Mr. Garrison's house in protest, only to find out that he's no longer president and has been binging White Lotus the entire time. The big reveal is that Donald Trump is back in office, and he's ready to sue anyone that gets in his way. The satire kicks in fast with South Park's trademark directness. The episode riffs on everything from tariffs, to lawsuits, to more recent scandals like the Epstein files. Trust me, they are quick with it. In a callback to their earlier work, they even reuse jokes from their Saddam Hussein parodies, most notably depicting Trump literally in bed with Satan, even adopting their decision to use Trump's actual photo for his head instead of a custom model, like they have with the other presidents. The episode then ends on an unflattering in-universe advertisement for the town of South Park's support for Trump. It is bold, it is unfiltered, and it is a return to form, with this being one of South Park's most savage political parodies, setting the tone for what's to come this season. From Clinton to Trump, one thing's clear: nobody is safe from South Park. But what do y'all think? With the latest episode, is this South Park's return to form? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, Frederator loves you.